When I first started setting out to write this speech, I didn't realize that I would have over 100 people. I didn't realize that I would be between 100 people and their lunches. So, so I'll do my best, but I have a few things planned that I want to say. First thing I want to say, and of most importance, how incredible does Ashley look tonight? Huh? How about everybody? Craig, you don't look so bad either. And the next thing that I really want to say is I want to thank everybody who had, from any bit of a small part to a big part, in helping to set up this reception, and I especially want to thank Denise and Kevin Holt. Now, when I first found out that Craig and Ashley were doing a movie-themed reception, I thought, what good is a movie-themed reception without a big screen TV and a big screen presentation? So I thought I was going to take advantage of that theme. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Scott. I'm Craig's older and, in fact, wiser brother. And a lot of people think of today as Craig and Ashley's special day, but let me tell you, this is actually a very special day for me as well. Because today is a day that Craig has finally admitted that I'm the best man. So I absolutely promise you that this picture, this slide here, is in fact the most timid of the entire presentation. You know, when Craig asked me to be his best man, I was a little bit nervous. And I know it doesn't seem like that, but I was in fact a little bit nervous. You know, I've never been a best man. I've always been a pretty good man, but never a best man. So, picture of Craig and I. So I went out and bought this book. I didn't think it existed, but Google is an amazing thing. Best Man for Dummies. And I bought this book because I can't tell you how many times Craig threatened to demote me to junior groomsman if I don't do a good toast. And I knew I couldn't fit in that size tux. So here's number 40, Ronald Reagan. So in the guide for the Best Man for Dummies, there was a step-by-step instruction on how to give a good toast. And step 1, find an inspirational quote to open up the speech with. So I searched high and low, thousands of quotes, and I stumbled across this one here by former President Ronald Reagan, when he said, "There's no greater happiness for a man than approaching a door at the end of the day, knowing that someone is on the other side of that door, waiting for the sound of his footsteps." Now, you might ask, why'd you pick such a quote? I thought this was appropriate, because without a doubt, Craig will always have that someone waiting for the sound of his footsteps on the other side of the door. And she's someone that's very special to him. Sophie. Okay. So I gave you an inspirational quote. On to step 2. Talk about how the best man and the groom first met. Well, I remember the day exactly. It was April 10th, 1985. Craig's birthday. And it's safe to say that being the oldest child, I missed a little bit of the attention. But Craig, I think we got along just right from the start. And the second, Step 3. So now you know how Craig and I first met. Talk about a few of the things that the best man and the groom have in common. So I came up with 2 of the main things. And the first thing is that Craig and I both love the Celtics. Right, Craig? The only difference between Craig and I is that I love the Celtics, and Craig ranks them slightly above eating, sleeping, and breathing. As demonstrated here. Now, you can tell they're a match, and it's a great thing, that Ashley likes the Celtics too. And I can't imagine what would happen if she was a Lakers fan. So another thing that we have in common is that Craig and I both like barbecue food. Here we are, enjoying some ribs in Kansas City. The only difference is that I prefer the beef, and Craig prefers pork. So I told you about a few things that we have in common. On to step 4. Tell a funny story about the bride and the groom. So this picture is actually of Craig and Ashley on the big move to Kansas City. And I remember this well because I was involved in the move, as well as Dad and I. So we're in 2 different cars, and we're driving, what, about 18 hours straight first, and then we finally broke down and said, all right, let's stop and get a hotel room. When I say a hotel room, I mean a single hotel room. And so we're all sleeping, and we're all go to sleep, and I'm out for in like 10 seconds, and wake up the next morning, and there's no Ashley and Craig. I had no idea. Will they continue on without us? And come to find out, they were actually both all curled up in a ball on the bathroom floor of the hotel just to get an ounce of sleep away from Dad and I's snoring. Now, if any of you have ever been in a room to witness that snoring, you know that 1 is bad, 2 is a perfect storm, a thunderstorm. Now, step 5, talk about the groom's happiness with the bride. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm actually a CPA accountant, and I spend all of my day looking at numbers and charts, and studying trends in my analysis each day. So there really was no better way to show you how happy Craig is than with a chart. So as you can see here, Craig was born a happy boy, and his happiness grew steadily throughout his first 21 years or so. And then he meets Ashley, and there's a significant spike in happiness. I think that satisfies everyone for the evidence for that. Now, Craig, I'm not married yet, but from what I heard, there's a slight leveling off. So that's projected, but I think that we'll all be happy with that as opposed to any other projection. So step 6, tell a few nice qualities about the groom. Now I was going to skip this step, but for those of you who don't know, I've asked Craig to be my best man next year, so he kind of has me over a barrel. So I agreed. Sorry. So here's Craig. So a few nice qualities about Craig. Craig is honest. Craig is sincere. Craig is charismatic. Craig is loving and generous. Craig, I can't read your writing anymore. And since I can't read your writing anymore, and since this best man for dummies doesn't seem to be getting me anywhere, I'm just going to speak from the heart. Ashley, I've known Craig for Well, as long as anyone. And I've never known him to be happier than he is with you. And there's no doubt in my mind that you two are perfect together. And you have the unending love and support of every single person in this room. So I'll raise our glasses to Ashley and Craig. May you always see the entire world in each other's eyes.
Amen.